This happened on 23rd of April in Kupwara. And that's why, if you go to the next slide, once you keep on seeing on the Indian media and their so-called evidence that this person has been found and this person has been found, from where are these persons coming? These are these Pakistani citizens, the Kashmiri citizens, who are held in different jails, in different locations. Like that poor boy Zia Mustafa and many other incidents that are on record, who are brought out of the jails, killed in fake encounters, tortured, forced to give confessional statements, posed as terrorists. This is the facts, this is the reality of what's going on behind all these incidents. Next, I would like to say few words and take a few minutes on the state-sponsored, the Indian-sponsored and abetted terrorism in Pakistan. Let's start with what the Indians themselves say about it. The leaders of multiple terrorist groups operating in Balochistan, who having after surrendered, are revealing in detail that how they were funded, they were helped, and how their sponsorship was done by India. In the next slide, you can see a terrorist operating and sponsored by India, Aslam Achu, in Indian hospital, and an Indian provided passport of Afghanistan of his. In next slide, you can see that once the Jafar Express happened, the internationally recognized terrorist organization BLA, his spokesperson, where was he sitting? He was sitting on Indian channels, wearing a mask, coming on multiple Indian channels, and glorification of a terrorist sect, which, by the way, the state of India has not shown any concern or condemned so far. And they are glorifying it. This is again very interesting. This footage that the Indian TV channels showed was made by the terrorists once the Jafar Express ID was blown. So this was only available with terrorists. And who are the first electronic channels who started showing it? It's the Indian channels. This is vehement, clear glorification of terrorism being done in Pakistan. If you move to the next slide, you will find that not long ago, it was Pakistan, as repeatedly has been telling this, and this is the evidence that Pakistan put in front in this room on Indian sponsored and abetted terrorism in Pakistan once the transnational killings of Pakistanis was done. So once we say that we have got nothing to do with Pahalgam, and once we say the only way out is an independent, credible, transparent investigation, we have strong reasons, empirical evidence and facts on the basis of which we are saying. Now, see, if you come to the next slide, if you remember that once the National Security Council issued its declaration on 24th April, it clearly said that Indian attempts to inject volatility in the environment along Pakistan's eastern border is aimed at distracting Pakistan's counter-terrorism efforts. And on night 25th, 26th, within 48 to 72 hours, its manifestation was clear. The largest tashkeel of Fitna al-Khawarij terrorists was taken down. 71 were sent to hell. This proxy of the Indians, the largest tashkeel, was launched, and alhamdulillah, the Pakistan security forces and the intelligence agencies, being vigilant, took them down. Because we have credible intelligence that Indians, post-Pahalgam, have tasked all their proxies to undertake terrorist acts everywhere in Pakistan, whether these proxies are operating in Balochistan and along the other parts of Pakistan. One of the clear evidence of these proxies and these cells I presented in detail yesterday. Just to refresh your minds, I am going to request you to listen to just one audio of a serving major of the Indian Army talking with a terrorist whom he is handling inside Pakistan. So what all we are showing you here, that independent, transparent, neutral, credible investigators, if they see this, this is what they need to see. This all is verifiable. This all is there for to see. It can be forensically checked that there is this serving Indian major. And this is few days ago. And if you listen carefully, what is he saying? He is saying we are operating a terror network from Lahore to Balochistan. He is saying we are here for years and we are going to be here for years. He is saying money is no problem. If this small terror cell, that one man cell, he is offering him millions and giving him millions. Just imagine how many billions are they ready and are they paying to Fitna al-Khawarij and the terrorist organizations operating in Balochistan as their proxy. Just imagine that how much money is being paid over there. And is it not a clear, vivid example of what actually terror financing means? This is for the world to see. This is for the world to check. Against all this terrorism that is sponsored and abetted by the Indians in Pakistan, because of it, if you go to the next slide, you will see the figures. Since January 24, Pakistan has suffered 3,700 terror incidents. And you talk to us about your incidents that are happening without any evidence, and you put those incidents blame on Pakistan. There is verifiable evidence that there are 3,700 incidents of terror that are happening over here. We have shown you a few parts of that how is it happening, who is sponsoring them, who is glorifying them, who is abetting them. In these incidents, the people of Pakistan has suffered 3,896 casualties. There are 1,314 shaheeds, civilians, law enforcement. There are 2,582 injured. And against this, your law enforcement, your security forces, intelligence, armed forces are waging 192 operations per day. We have killed more 1,666 terrorists. This is the terrorism that has been abetted and sponsored by India. It's for the whole world to see, to feel it, its effects. And here we must be cognizant that Pakistan is the last bulwark that is standing against this scourge of terrorism, of this creeping, perverted ideology, which is getting its notion of victory somewhere else. And it's the people of Pakistan, its armed forces, its law enforcement, which is standing as the last bulwark, not only for the sake of Pakistan and its people, but for the sake of the whole global community. Just imagine if this creeping, perverted ideology takes its root in a country of 240 million plus, what sort of disaster consequences it will have for the whole world. And India, for its short-term myopic objectives, is facilitating this terrorism. It's abetting this perverted, creeping ideology. Why? For its short-term political objectives. So this is important to understand. Now, a few words about the oppression that is going on with the Muslims and in Kashmiris. We're not going to talk about what's been happening for last more than 70 years. I'm just going to show you what's happening since Pahalgam. Please watch this. That how the houses, please run this. That how the houses are being bulldozed, blasted. There are more than 50 houses in Kashmir alone have been bulldozed and blasted on flimsy charges of being affiliated or being part of the Pahalgam. More than 2,000 people have been taken into custody. Thousands are being harassed. I talked earlier that there is a planned and choreographed campaign of Islamist terrorism, but the facts speak differently. This is what some sane people are saying, that the tourists who came in taxis belonging to Muslims, they stayed in hotels owned by Muslims, they ate food cooked by Muslims, they rode ponies owned by Muslims, they did trekking guided by Muslims. When terrorists started their attack, they were covered and protected by Muslims. The first person to die defending was a Muslim, and you heard his brother. Did you not hear his brother? The first person who died protecting those tourists. You kindly next slide, Pere. So I'm trying to make you understand that what these saner people over there, they are saying they were the first who came to help for Muslims. The pony owners, the riders, the pillowback riders, first aid and rescue was done by Muslims. Ambulances were driven by Muslims. They were treated in hospitals by Muslim doctors and nurses. And everywhere on social media, we see that all Muslims are terrorists. So this is the orchestrated narrative that is being played. And I just said earlier also, that terrorism has no religion. There are no Muslim terrorists, there are no Christian terrorists, there are no even Hindu terrorists. So why an effort is being made to label the whole community, the Muslims, as terrorists? Is this part of some agenda? Is this part of that hate that systematically is being put in a society? That saffronization that is trying to be done, whose manifestation you saw that the Muslims and dogs not allowed? And where did we see that the world conscious and the world memory remembers those posters? And also that what ensued after that, the genocide and the suffering that ensued after that. So the irrationality that you see playing and the rational minds grapple to understand, she is just pointing out common facts that all these incidents are happening in once the BJP government is in power. She's trying to just connect the dots, and there you go, and the big hand of the law comes. And what they are trying to do for the voices that are coming from outside the world, if you go to the next slide, what's happening outside? They have blocked all digital YouTube, digital news channels of Pakistan, so that the voice of Pakistan of fact and reason, explaining what's happening, what are the actual facts, doesn't go to its citizens. They are blocking all websites, X handles, other handles who are talking about facts. This is what's right now happening on hourly basis. Why they are stifling it? Because they are afraid of truth. They don't want to face the reality. Lastly, I would just say that this tells us something very important. That what the Indians are trying to do is that there is a process of internalization of their external problems and externalization of their internal problems. Kashmir is an external problem, and they are internalizing it. Terrorism, extremism is an internal problem of India. Instead of handling it, instead of addressing it, they are externalizing it. This cycle is manifesting itself also in this Pahalgam incident. Thank you very much.